there at least one thing in your life where it feels like no matter how hard you try, you take 3 steps forward and then 2 steps back, and somehow, some way you manage to self-sabotage every single time? Well, then keep watching, because this video is all about overcoming self-sabotage. Hey guys, it's Rachel Stewart with Spend Smart Live Happy. I'm just sitting here on this beautiful morning on my back patio in my new garden. If you haven't checked out my other 2 latest videos on the setup of my garden, then please check those out. I had 2 very special guests. I had John Kohler with YouTube Growing Your Greens channel, and also Josh Cunnings of Boogie Brew, here to help me get my garden set up and talk to me about what I need to do to be successful. So please check those videos out. And anyways, moving on to today, because I'm just sitting here enjoying my new garden, thinking about life and the direction I want to take. I took all of this week off after my wedding last weekend, and I really wanted to take this week to just kind of regroup and strategize and figure out, I'm in this new chapter of life now, and so where do I want to take my life? What are the things that I want to most focus on this upcoming year? And I was watching, or I should say listening to, like a podcast from Tony Robbins, who is outstanding, by the way. If you haven't watched any of his videos or listened to any of his podcasts, definitely check him out. Extremely inspiring and motivational. So I was listening to one of his podcasts, and it was actually geared towards financial self-sabotage. And in his podcast, he was talking about how people, basically we act, the actions that we take are a direct result of our beliefs, our belief systems. And when people truly believe something, then they're willing to move mountains to defend that thing, to honor that thing, to keep that thing, whatever it is. So he just talked a lot about that, about our beliefs. And when we have conflicting belief systems inside of us, that can negatively impact our actions. And there was an exercise that he did that I'm going to really encourage you to do. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. So in this exercise, think about something that you want really, really badly. And no matter how hard you try to get that thing or achieve that thing, you somehow always end up self-sabotaging. And I know this is so true for me, especially like with weight loss. I would be doing really, really good, eating right on my plan and exercising every day. And then like sometimes I would even get on the scale and see, wow, I lost 4 pounds last week. And you'd think like a sane person would say, awesome, let me keep going. But somehow, some way, some subconscious part of me would then be like feel this urge to eat or something. So I'd like get on the scale and see some great weight loss, and then instead of taking that and having that be thrilling and motivational to keep going and keep making good choices, it's like something would switch inside me, and then I would go and self-sabotage by eating, an entire cheat day, and just eating a bunch of stuff that I don't eat, and then I would end up gaining back some weight that I had lost that week prior. And it's vicious cycle. And I've done the same thing financially and in other ways. So anyways, think about if you've got a thing like that where, you get on the scale, you see you lost 5 pounds, and then you turn right around and eat half a pizza, 2 bowls of ice cream, and some Oreos, or I don't know, something crazy like that, right? Is there something like that for you? Or in this case, Tony Robbins was talking about finances. So is it that you save a lot of money, or you pay down a lot of debt, and then you turn right around and rack up the credit card again, or something to that effect? So think about it. Is there one thing that you find you continuously self-sabotage with? And now think about that thing. So we'll just use my weight loss as an example in this, but it can be true for anything. What you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of paper and grab a pen. You're going to divide it into 4 squares, and in the top square you're going to very quickly time yourself if necessary, just really, really quickly, right off the top of your head. You're going to write down all the things that you're missing out on because of that thing. So like for me, what are all the things that I'm missing out on because I haven't been consistent with diet and exercise and lost the weight that I'm not at my goal weight. So what am I missing out on in life because of that? And very quickly, if you're honest with yourself, you're going to be able to write down a lot of things. It's, I can't wear the clothes that I'd like to wear, or, I don't have as much energy to run around with my daughter, or, like whatever your reasons are, like the things that you're missing out on in life because you haven't made that change or achieved that goal. And then in the next square, you're going to write down all of the things that you associate with that goal, achievement, whatever. So like, what are all the things that I associate with being healthy and being a healthy size and being at your goal weight? So that might be things like freedom, happiness, confidence, different things like that, all the things that I associate with that. Then this is where it gets really interesting. I swear if Tony Robbins had been in front of me, I would have given him such a hug because of the aha moment that I experienced with this third column. And that was, write down all of the things that you were told, what are the beliefs that were taught to you, that you heard, that you personally experienced growing up about that thing. So growing up, what were the messages that I heard from my parents, from teachers, from friends, from boyfriends, from my own thoughts? What are the belief systems? What are the things that were taught to me at a young age growing up? And it gets really interesting because you realize very quickly the conflict in your beliefs. On the one hand, you might have a belief that's very negatively based towards your goal, or you have another belief that's very positive. So here it is in your mind. I mean, they say that your actions are a direct result of your belief system. So if that's the case, and your belief system so deeply rooted in you from a young age has conflict, because on one side this thing that you want is seen as a positive, and then on the other side it's seen as a negative. And it was so crazy because when I wrote down that list, it's not that any one of those things was like a shock to me. I had thought those thoughts throughout my entire life all the time, but always separately. Never had I put them all into one place and realized, oh my gosh, yeah, I do believe that. And I also believe that. Or at least I've been told at some point to believe that. And even if I want to automatically say I don't believe it, deep down, clearly subconsciously, I have some rooted belief still with that. So of course I'm not going to be successful. Of course my actions are going to be conflicting. Of course on one side I'm making vast improvement in my health and stepping on the scale and losing weight and seeing changes with measurements in my clothing and how I feel and my body aches. And then on the other hand, I have this self-sabotage and some kind of binge eating or something like that. Of course, because my belief system's basically all screwed up and I didn't even realize it. So that's the third box, is you're going to write down everything that you were taught to believe, that you did believe, that you do believe, that it was taught to you at a young age about that thing. Then in the fourth square, what you're going to do is you're going to write down all the ways that your life would be different if you made that change or achieved that goal. So what this whole exercise does is it helps you associate negative feelings with not achieving your goal. So pain, you associate pain with that. And that's what Tony Robbins talked a lot about, was that, we're motivated by pain or pleasure, and you have to be able to associate negative things, pain, with not achieving your goal. So I haven't talked too much about this on the channel so far, but for many months now, I've been really, really sick. I've been in and out of the urgent care, ER, doctor's offices. I've had CAT scans, HIDA scans, ultrasounds, endoscopies, blood work, all kinds of things with them trying to figure out, the doctor's trying to figure out what's wrong with me. When it was all said and done, long story short, whether we still have to run some more tests to determine whether it's celiac disease or just a severe intolerance, but either which way, basically we've been able to determine that I cannot eat gluten. And I didn't even really so much believe in gluten intolerance before, but it's a very, very real thing. And it's been really interesting because I have been trying to change my diet and eat healthier, eat more plant-based for years. And it's always been a struggle. I would have success, I would be doing a good job, and then I'd have setbacks and I would self-sabotage and different things like that. And then now with these health issues, once I realized, oh my gosh, like the only thing I can safely eat for the most part is fruits and vegetables and things like that. In my brain, I was able to make a negative association, to associate pain with not eating healthy. Because every time I eat something with gluten in it, I eat something processed, something unhealthy, then I get really sick. I start having, pain and nausea and bloating and all these different things. So for the first time in my life, switching to a plant-based diet has been like almost effortless, like super easy, because it's just full support of what Tony Robbins said, that we act to either gain or avoid pleasure or pain. So, here it is, struggle for all these years with eating a plant-based healthy diet. And the minute I realize that that's the only way I can eat, that if I eat other things, I am going to endure excruciating pain. So if you can take that and apply that to all areas of your life, that kind of experience, that's where this exercise comes in handy, is because you make associations between what you want to do and pain or pleasure. It goes both ways. Either by achieving this thing, it's going to add so much pleasure to your life. That's what that fourth square is in the exercise. Or on the other end, the pain, the first square, is what are all the things that you're missing out on? How is the quality of your life decreased by not having this thing or not achieving this goal? And when you do that, and then you are able to articulate your belief systems of why you're doing the things that you're doing, can really help you gain that perspective that you may need to make the changes that you're trying to make. And the very final step that Tony recommended that you do is that you take those beliefs that you wrote down in that third square and you challenge those beliefs and you create new beliefs and challenge those beliefs. So like for me, for a long time, being a single lady and overweight and things like that, I sometimes had the belief that I wouldn't be able to find someone to love me unless I lost the weight that I was trying to lose. And I think, obviously I'm married now, so that doesn't really apply, but even if I was still single at this moment, in doing that exercise, the way I would challenge that belief would be, I will be more available to love a man openly, wholeheartedly, and givingly if I love myself. And to love myself, I need to be true to who I am and take care of my body and nurture it to live a long time and be strong. So it's just kind of that shift in mentality. It's not no one's going to love me unless I lose weight. It's that I will love myself more, and then I will be able to be more open and receive that love from another person if I love myself more. So just take a moment to challenge all those beliefs and create new ones and recenter yourself and figure out why it is you're self-sabotaging when you're trying to achieve something. Is it because you have conflicting beliefs? Pay very close attention to that third square. You will learn a lot about yourself from that third square. So, thank you, Tony Robbins, for being so inspirational. We need more people like him in the world. And please leave your comments below and let me know what you've done to kind of overcome self-sabotage, and let me know what you think of this exercise after you try it, if it was eye-opening for you, if it helped you kind of get a clearer picture of where you're at and what your belief systems are. You should check out all my playlists. I've got playlists for all the different types of things to talk about on my channel. That's minimalism and making healthy homemade products and getting out of debt and saving money, showing you what I'm doing in my garden, how I'm growing my own healthy organic food. I'm going to start posting videos on the vegetarian dishes that I cook and the pescatarian dishes that I cook, so stay tuned for those. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. If you are interested in this type of stuff, if you're on a journey like me, you're trying to change your life, you're trying to make your dream life, I just want to build this community of people who are pumped up like me, who are excited to make change, and I want us to be able to work together. I want to hear from you, tips and ideas and tricks and what, just your story. Help me, I get inspired by others. And so if I can inspire you and you can inspire me and we can build this community of like-minded people, that's what YouTube's about, and that's why I'm doing this channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please check back anytime. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.